morning, boys and girls, peeps and seeps. What it is, what do you do? Welcome to the Mac Life, the #1 channel here on YouTube. And today we have a different sort of video. This one's about travel. And if you've searched up solo travel or whatever, you've probably never seen a video inside of Google Docs like this, because I search around and I can't find anything like this. There's nothing like this on YouTube. When you type up solo trips for travelers, it's always the same shit. Make sure you buy the Light Rail Express Pass. Make sure they're like just practical little strategies. But I want to give you the overview. I want to give you why you would actually want to do this shit. And if you didn't just see the little flash from Dr. Pepper. Today's video is sponsored. It's not sponsored by Dr. Pepper, unfortunately. But Dr. Pepper, if you want to hit me up, I will take a sponsorship. I rarely ever drink soft drink, but it was my birthday recently. I just turned 27. And my mum got me a heap of Dr. Peppers. She got them for me because once you accumulate a certain amount of money, it's actually shit for other people to buy you gifts because they can't really buy you anything because you can just buy everything yourself. And none of this is a flex. You know, I want to talk about this in today's video. More so than just traveling, I want to give you the cheat code to life, like how to do everything. And if this is the first video of mine you watched, I'll just give you some quick credentials. You know, I'm a self-made entrepreneur. You know, I've been doing my own business or running my own business for the last 4 to 5 years now. I can work completely on my own. I manage my own company. It's not a business, it's a company. You know, I turn over significant amounts of money. I have a YouTube channel alone that generates me, you know, nearly $50,000 a month from YouTube. I'm not talking about just AdSense revenue, obviously. I have other things that I push. And I'm not selling you anything in this video, but just my YouTube channel alone brings in nearly 50K a month. You know, and I've traveled to a shit ton of countries. I've retired my mum by age 27. My mum works as my PA, which is the easiest job in the world. It takes her 2 minutes, and the rest of her time spent doing what she wants. You know, I've been featured on Forbes, Entrepreneur, Blue Belt in Jiu-Jitsu, just all shit, you know. I've finished a uni degree as well. I did a health and movement degree. I did all that shit and finished school. But more so than that, my life is expanding at a rapid rate, and now I'm in the traveling stages. So if you haven't watched my other videos, I've been back in Australia for the last 2 months, and I come back because I got sick. Not like deathly sick or anything, but I got a staph infection while training jiu-jitsu in Indonesia, and the doctors wouldn't treat me. They told me it wasn't a staph infection. They wouldn't give me antibiotics. I knew it was a staph infection because we're taught constantly about it in Thailand, and we hear about it constantly. So I come back to Australia, sure enough, staph infection. My mate actually caught it at the exact same time, and then weirdly enough, you know, he pushed on and stayed there, and it got really severe for him. Like, his leg was horrendous. I put it in a previous video. He had to come back and get, like, he had to be in hospital on injections and shit, and then he had to come back and yeah, so anyway, I come back, but before that, I've been traveling Southeast Asia solo. So I have a plan essentially to travel the entire world, bar, you know, maybe a few countries that I don't find very appealing for the risk versus reward. And this may sound harsh and I'm probably incorrect, but you know, there's a few Middle Eastern countries that I probably wouldn't frequent. There's some African countries that I'm probably not going to explore, just because I don't really see the appeal of hitting off every single country in the world when the risk to reward for some of them just really isn't there. But I will hit pretty much a significant amount of the countries in the world. Let's have a little sip, Dr. Pepper. Now, why would you even want to travel the world? You know, if you're a solo traveler, a lot of people think, I just need to get overseas and then it'll work out. And they have this innate feeling like they want to travel, or the travel bug or whatever. But a lot of time people do it to mask. It's almost like their version of watching Netflix each day. It's their version of playing video games. And they say it's healthy and they say it's to explore themselves and learn and discover myself. But really, you're just running from your own life. You're trying to temporarily hold off in another country. And you see this a lot with people who try and just travel for a long period of time. They try and extend their stay somewhere to the maximum. And these people are usually budget travelers and usually very poor. And there's nothing against you. You know, if you don't make money now, hopefully this video actually helps you as well in that regard. And I'm not going to sell you anything. But I feel the reason people travel most of the time is they say it's to explore other cultures and this and that. But it's to run from themselves and to seek validation. They want their mates who are off doing things that they feel like, oh, you know, my mate's becoming a captain of a ship or whatever. And they're like, oh, okay, I'm going to just travel because then I'll gain respect and garner respect from others. But it's really you're just running from yourself because you don't have a plan or you don't believe you can achieve more. And that's the majority of people that actually really travel. That's their deep reasons. It's to run from their own failures, to run from their insecurities, and that's the incorrect way to go about traveling. Now, why do I travel? I'm going to tell you about why I'm endeavoring to travel the world. Number one, I talk about this, in a business term. It unlocks the map. You get to, if you ever played that game Age of Empires as a kid, you'd start building your little community, and they would someone you're versing would build their little community, but you couldn't see them building away, so you didn't know what they were doing. And then you might just be out cutting wood, and your dudes are just there, and you're still in the shitty ages or whatever, and you're at the shitty woodcutting stage. But they've done something different to you over here, and they're already got laser guns, and they just come in and milk your entire civilization. You're having a little happy life, and you just get milked. Gone. You are now dust. So, not that I think, another civilization's going to come here and turn me into dust, but it unlocks the map so that you can see what are people doing in other places. How is their lifestyle different? Are they happier in regards to their lifestyle? What do they do each day? Are they healthier? Are they fitter? Can they have better skills? Are they bilingual where you're not bilingual? What is going on in other parts of the world? Simply open up the map. The biggest strategical advantage you could have in a situation like that would be to see what they're doing. Because if they couldn't see what you're doing and you could see what they're doing, you can plan everything around that. You're constantly going to evolve quicker than that other person. And it's not like you're competing against other people, but you're just competing to make yourself the best version. So you want to unlock the map and actually see how are things operating. What do the people speak like? What do they do here? Why is there so much money in these buildings? Go and explore. Now, obviously, if you don't have capital and you don't have a lot of money, you're probably thinking, what the fuck, I can't just travel everywhere and open up the map. And that's fine. We'll talk about that in a second. I'll give you some free advice. But the first reason I want to travel is to unlock the map to do with business. The second is you just meet connections that you simply can't, simply can't replace them online. You can chat with people online, you can build a relationship, but until you put that face to it, and until you've spent time with someone, you just can't gauge. You can't really connect on a deep level. Until you have a person face to face, you really can't connect. So, I'll give you an example. If you've been watching the previous videos, I solo traveled. I'm pretty sure, did I mention I just solo traveled all Southeast Asia? I went through Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, Indonesia. I did all the Southeast Asia, right? Most of it. I met a heap of great people along the way, and I met a dude called Dan, and he was from the UK, and he was traveling the world. He'd been through the US and Canada, and we happened to just randomly run into each other in Cambodia, and we spent 2 months together traveling Vietnam, Cambodia, and then a little bit of Thailand as well. So more than 2 months together every day. And Dan has since decided that he doesn't want to go back to the UK anymore, since traveling and seeing other ways of life. His goal was to go out traveling from where he lived in the UK with the money he had, and then return and live there. And since traveling, he's decided, hey, I don't even like that lifestyle. He's unlocked more of the map. He realized the lifestyle over here is way better. And what he's decided now is he's getting a 1-year visa in Thailand. He's going to continue to try and extend it. And he wants to live in Thailand. Now, this is why connections are important. Whilst myself and Daniel are very different people, okay, we have a lot in common, he is not capital rich in a sense that he has a cash flowing business making him money. But he has other great attributes. He's very good with people. He's very social. He has a very good plan. He has all these other things in place. So his goal is, and we discovered this while traveling. This is why the idea came to him. We met a lot of people. We met a lot of connections whilst traveling, okay, that moved over to Asian countries, and they actually accumulated their wealth. They were actually quite wealthy people in regards of net worth. Going from their country where they were poor in developed countries to non-developed countries and building restaurant chains, bars, different things, and then expanding and franchising. So Dan's plan now, because of the people we met, the connections we met, and our connection with each other and different things, he has decided he's going to stay in Thailand. He's going to open up a restaurant chain. He's still planning it out heavily, and he's going to build out from there and live there and offer UK Western food at a premium price to travelers there. And because he met me and I've been quite successful in business, I'm going to help him with the planning stages. But more so than that, I'm going to be able to take equity in his business and provide him capital up front that he doesn't have. So I'll be able to give him money, and invest in it. And he's someone that I've met and I know and I trust because I've spent a significant period of time with, and I'm happy to invest money. And none of this would happen unless you traveled. So think about how different, this is why I'm talking about the why. Think about how different life paths could have been. If we'd never run into each other and he'd never traveled and I'd never traveled, none of this entire existence would have ever taken place. But because he traveled, because I traveled, because we met, because we connected, because we learned things from different people in different places, now we've both gained a shit ton of experience. We've come to new realizations, and we're both gaining money. We're both growing. And if you're saying, oh, but money isn't everything, money is essentially just a tool to unlock more. Okay, that's all money is. It's a tool that you can use to have more experiences, more, give more. And if you don't think money's good, you've never seen the face on your mum when you get to retire her. Okay? If you don't think money's a great thing to have, you've never retired your mum. You don't have enough money. That's your problem. You've been told money's bad, money's the root of all evil, money's demon, money's this, money's that. You don't have enough of it. And that's why you demonize it. So think, how does that serve you? How does demonizing money really serve you? It doesn't. Now, why else do I want to travel, okay? I think you become a more experienced version of yourself and you push yourself significantly outside of your comfort zone. Unfortunately, I know people that are close to me, family members, family friends that are older from family friends, and they've reached their 50s and coming into their 60s now, and they never took the risk to travel. They never took the risk to quit their job. They never took the risk to improve. They never took the risk to start a business. They never took the risk. And that self-realization hits them at that age. And I can't tell you what age it is, but that realization hits you when it goes, fuck, I didn't do it. And now I've missed the boat. And imagine that's your life. You might only get one of these fucking things. Imagine that's the realization. You get to an older age and you think, fuck, I just kept putting it off. I never took the risk. I've been nowhere. I know no one. I have no money. I have no connections. To me, that would just be absolutely devastating to get to that point in life. And it's like, looking back from regret, I don't want to be that 80-year-old, that 9-year-old that never did it. I'd rather be the 20-year-old that went out, did it, died doing it. I'd rather be the 20-year-old that went out, did it, failed. At least I'd know. Okay? At least I would know. I would rather fail and have that little bit less than when I'm older than to never know and to regret. And that's a very, very big thing. So, the why stems from regret. You really don't want to regret things. Now, along with that, I'm a big fan of skill acquisition. It's something I studied at university. And when it comes to acquiring skills, immersion is a great tactic for language and for pretty much everything. But also looking for people who succeed in that area is the quickest way to learn. So why else would you want to travel? If you want to be successful in business, go to where there's successful business people. Go to Dubai. Go to the United Arab Emirates. Look at people who have gone there poor and become wealthy. There's a big ratio of that there. Go to countries like, I haven't been, but I'll go to Monaco and I'll see why is the population so small, but there's so much money here. Why are the people that move there all foreigners? I understand there's a zero tax policy, but what do they think differently? What do they do different? Why did they pick here? Why is this country like this? You gain skill, you gain knowledge, it's skill acquisition, and that's really all it is. That's the why. You travel the world because you learn more skills, you become more experienced, you meet connections, and you just grow. And that's what growth is. A lot of these people say, oh, you go there, you find yourself, you find your soul, you find this, you see other people are living poorer than you. You go there to grow because all of life is about growth. You're either growing or you're dying. You have one or two paths. You're either growing or you're dying. And so you want to grow as much as possible. You want to grow and experience everything. And for someone to tell you that's incorrect, the only reason anyone would ever tell you shouldn't make the most money, you shouldn't make the most friends, you shouldn't explore the most life, you shouldn't have all the businesses, you shouldn't have all the skills, you shouldn't speak multiple languages, is because they're scared and they don't, and they're trying to justify. They project their insecurities onto you because they don't want to see you do what they never had the guts to do. And it sounds horrendous, but legitimately that is it, okay? There's the only reason someone would try and hold you back from all of those things. So with that being said, I'm going to give you some tips for solo traveling in a minute, like actionable, proper tips, because now we understand why we should be traveling to begin with. Where am I off to next? On Saturday, I fly from Dubai On Saturday, I fly from here in Australia to Dubai. Dubai, I'm going to the USA. I have business connections that I'm meeting there. Some awesome people that make a shitload of money running big agencies and certain things. And I have family there, so I'll be doing the USA. And then from there, I go across to Europe and I do, I know you can't see this, but I'm doing 30 countries. So essentially, I'm from up around here, right? Where I'm living currently. Here's Sydney in Australia. And I'm up here in Newcastle. Now, Australia is fucking massive compared to the rest of the world. I haven't realized, like we are a big fucking country. And I used to live actually down in here in Tasmania. And I've been all through here in Australia. All of here in Australia. Now, I did all of this. And I've been through Thailand and shit multiple times. But I'm heading to the UAE on Saturday. I think I said Friday. I meant to say Saturday. I'm heading to the UAE. From the UAE, I'm heading across to the US, which I've been to before. I'm doing all of this from Texas to all of this side. Then I'm flying back to Greece, or I'll probably fly to Portugal from there or something. I did have a map before, but I've changed it to encompass going to the US first. But essentially, my plan was like this. Somewhere like this to do all these. So around 30 countries there. Now, I'll probably have to change the roadmap, but I'll be able to explore all of that. Now, I'll be putting out daily videos on it as well, but I want to give you some actionable tips about tips for a solo traveler. If your goal is to travel and explore the world, your goal is really to, we talked about it, gain as much experience as possible. Capital is what you need. Money is what you need. Start a fucking online business. And I'm not selling you anything. There's nothing to be sold here. There's a multitude of different businesses you could do. YouTube, become a YouTuber. E-commerce, OnlyFans. You could do fucking, I don't know, an online agency. You could become like an agency, a social media marketing agency. You could just become a freelancer that does, copywriting, or a freelancer that does logo design or UI design or anything, okay? Online art, you could be like, if you're good at drawing and drawing online, you could do tattoos and tattoo design on Fiverr or anything like that. But you need to start a Wi-Fi business. It's going to open up so much more. And if you pick one lane that you can focus on as a solo traveler, when you're traveling, your conversations go from this to this, and I'll explain why this is so important. Say you stay in a hostel, right? I don't stay in hostels. The only time I'll ever stay in a hostel is if I want to connect with people and they offer private rooms, okay? Because I don't like sharing rooms. If say your conversation normally goes like this, and this is why I was able to connect with so many people and build so many great connections. People would sit down and they'd chat with every other fucking hostel person. They'd say, so what are you doing? Where are you going? Where are you from? Da 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 da. And they say, what do you do for work? That's a pretty fucking quick question that you get. Now, the average person says, oh, back home, I'm going to study after this, or, once I've done this, or I'm picking bananas here and I'm doing this and doing that. When you tell someone, oh, I run my own company, okay, and I'm making all this money, very quickly it changes. It excites people. And even if you're not making money, if you say to people, well, I've just started a business. I'm an online freelancer doing, drawing, and I want to grow that so I can continue to travel and do all these things, your conversations change. You start to mold with people who are on that same trajectory, same path. They want to have conversations about that. You might chat with someone, they go, no, really? I've done that for the last 5 years. That's what I've been doing, traveling. You say, no fucking way. What? Do you have any advice for me? Do you have any tips? And they say, well, rather than Fiverr, you should be scouting people in Facebook groups. Just go to the tattoo groups and say, hey, I'm offering designs. Before you make a mistake of your life and get something, just straight away chucked on you, I'll do you a cheap design and you can do it. And that keeps going. But what it does is it changes the trajectory of where your life path is moving, because it changes your conversations. And conversations are everything. When you start chatting about these things, you start chatting about making money and growing, you'll connect all of those other people. So number one tip, start a business, okay? And when people ask you what you do, just start chatting about it. Be comfortable to tell people, I'm a YouTuber, okay? If you say I'm a YouTuber, and they say, no way, I've got a small YouTube channel too. And you say, oh, that's funny. Let's collab. Okay, now you're collabing. Now you're gaining audience. Now you're gaining influence. You find people you connect with. So my tips for the solo traveler are to, if you really want to make the most out of life, which is why we started with the why, start a fucking business, okay? Start your own business. You have to. In today's age, it's never been easier to start your own business. I don't care what it is. Just start your own business. Now, the next thing I would suggest is try and be a minimalist. So, minimalist. Try and be a minimalist. There we go. Mini. Why don't I spell like that? Try and be a minimalist, okay? Reduce the amount of shit you need. I fit my entire life travel into a bag, okay? Reduce the amount of shit that you need. And I run, businesses that turn over, like I said, YouTube alone turned over like 50, I'm pretty sure I mentioned that in this video. It's like 50K a month nearly from YouTube alone. One YouTube account. I fit everything to run all of that in one bag, plus my entire life in one bag. And the way you do that is I have Google, it sounds stupid, but I have Google Doc sheets like this for my entire life. I reduce my decisions. I reduce the amount of decisions I need. Okay, if I'm going to book places, I'm always going to book with Booking.com. Why? Because I'm going to get the Genius rewards after time. Plus I know that this does this, and this does this, and this does this. Sure, I can save money if I brand do this, but who fucking cares, okay? If I load my business card onto there, I can claim that much on the business card. I can get that many extra points, that many more Amex points, whatever it is, da-da-da. Reduce your decisions so that you're not constantly filling up your day making stupid decisions. And that's what actually ruins your travel. When you're sitting there going, looking through it, you spend 90% of your time while enjoying the place you're meant to be enjoying, sitting there looking for the next place on Airbnb and then trying to save $17, changing it to Booking.com and then changing to other places. I'm giving you the anti-tips. You know how all these budget travelers give you these other tips about saving money? I'm giving you the real tips. Why wouldn't you just catapult your wealth and make less decisions and then actually enjoy the time you're there? Who do you think gains more in this experience? Well, I backpacked through in Southeast Asia for 9 months. I dragged it on and I only spent $450. Fan-fucking-tastic. And you spent the entire time sitting there on your phone trying to cheat your way out of shit instead of focusing on what you should be focusing on, which is a business. If you don't have money yet, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Just try and focus on what I am giving you, okay? And you can always start these things while doing it. Now, the next, like I said, is minimalize your decisions. Minimalize, get in your head, what clothes am I going to need, okay? What do I actually need? What's needed? Is it 3 basic white shirts, a pair of shorts, pair of tracksuit pants, and 2 pairs of chinos? This is my entire bag. Undies, socks, and then a suit. That's it. All compressed in there. All fits in there. Perfect. Done. Ready to go. Every bit of clothing I ever need. And if I ever need to swap it out, I know which stores I can go to replace that exact same article of clothing. It may sound very disgustingly methodical, but it is semi-effective, and it's going to make your time a lot better. Now, next, this is an actual tip. This is an actual practical tip. Make sure that you have multiple forms of money that you can access. So have cash, have multiple cards, have a business card, have a bank card, have a traveler's card. You essentially need access to money because money is resource. It's very, very important to get around. And you also need access to communication. If you can buy a pre-place SIM that's already there so you don't have to fuck around when you get somewhere, do that. I got to the airports in all these countries and I just buy a SIM straight away. People are like, don't do that. You can save $3.80 if you head to your local Bali Mart. Motherfucker, and then you're trying to figure out how to get there and then you probably got gypped on the taxi, paying way more than you should have anyway. Because you didn't have access to communication. It's the number one fucking thing. You need access to communication. So try and get your cards preloaded first. Get a traveler's card so you're not paying the international transaction fees, which actually do stack up. That is one that you should be saving on. If you're going to worry about saving on anything, it's that. Try and get a fucking card so you're not paying 3% on everything. And yeah, that's probably it. It's been a weirdly rambling video, but I hope you've enjoyed. I'm just filling up the time before I head to the gym at the moment. I do have a lot of shit to do, but I thought I need to get a video out, and this would be a cool one because I'm going to be pumping out a fuck ton of videos as I head overseas. I'll probably be gone for about 6 months, I imagine. And then, yeah, that's it. More travel. Next year, I'll towards the end of next year as well, I plan on doing South America, do all the 12 countries. I think there's 12 countries in South America. Some point after that, I might do little bits of Africa and, Turkey, Jordan, and then Russia, Kanyashna, other little bits, Mongolia and China. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, hit subscribe. Oh, actually, I'll tell you here as well. If you've sat around and you've listened to me ramble this on November 30th, and I'll probably do this every month after away, I'm giving out $1,000 for free. I'm just giving away $1,000 cash. I'll just transfer it to you, bank transfer, PayPal, however you want to do it. But don't ask me to set up some stupid fucking weird Zezzy account or whatever you have, okay, if you have a weird account, you will have to figure out another way to get the money. Either PayPal, bank transfer or something. $1,000 cash giveaway. Just simply be subscribed to me here on YouTube and that's it. You go in the draw. If you leave a comment down below as well, I'll increase your chances. I'll give you an extra vote, so leave a comment down below. And yeah, maybe that's your $1,000 you can use to go around and travel. So, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you found a little bit of value, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.